Yo, what's poppin'? It's Tommathan. Making a fun video about how I hate every team in the Overwatch League. But if this is your first video watching me, I make daily owl content. I talk about the previews of teams, reviews of teams. I'm gonna be starting the MVP race discussion, rookie of the year, stuff like that. Power rankings every Monday. So if you are interested in that stuff, maybe take a look at the other videos. Drop subscribe if you're interested. Make sure you like this video if you liked it, and comment down below. Maybe a team that you really hate, a team that you think I'm giving too much hate. I don't know, whatever you want. But the Atlanta Reign, starting off with my most hated team. Uh, that's not a hot take, I think. I think Atlanta, of course, they've built up the brand of them being the bad guys and all that. But ever since, even before that, there was something about Atlanta Reign. Wasn't having it. As a Canadian, as a Toronto Defiant fan, they have the same colors. They copied our whole flow. And I was like, I can't like this other team. They have the same colors as us. I couldn't do it. But yeah, I like this team players. I like Speedily when he comes in. He's gonna be sick. I like UV, OG, Venom, Nero, Kai, Hawk. You know, but I don't know. This team, the whole thing of being the bad guy. I'm appreciate their team. There is a team like that. We need a team like that. I'm gonna hate them right now. It's like the whole vibe. Like that's what they want, kind of. The whole for fun team, but we're gonna get salty about other teams chirping us, and we're gonna boom mentally and play off our ego. Cool. If I liked this team, I'd really like it. I don't like this team. I dislike this team, and I pray on their downfall every time, which is hard because they're good. So yeah, Boston Uprising. Boston, ever since the start of this team, they've had the whole Moneyball thing made it really hard for me to get attached to them. They have these players are gonna get shipped out. Like you just know it. They're gonna be gone. It's so awkward because how do I get attached to this team? Oh, I really like Crimzo. I like Crimzo. Canadian, best Canadian maybe in the league. Huge, big Crimzo fan. I like Crimzo. I don't like the Boston Uprising because I know Crimzo's gone next season. Right? He's just gone. So how can I support this team? I'm supporting Crimzo. I like Punk. I guess Punk stayed around for a bit. Shout out Punk. That's cool. But I even right now, maybe it's not as much Moneyball. They had the whole thing where they had Striker, so maybe they dropped some money on Striker. I don't know what it was, but knowing that your players are going to be gone makes it very hard for me to get attached to them. And yeah, they leave some around, right? But that's half the roster, right? Will half the roster be gone next year? Yeah, maybe. So I find it very hard to get attached to them, and I just can't. I can't like them. It kind of does make me hate them a little bit. Oh, also because I'm a Montreal Canadian fan, my hatred for the Boston Bruins just carries over because they have the Boston name a little bit, just a little bit. So my bad. Uh, Chengdu Hunters. Now, I know a lot of people like Chengdu. They have them as one of their favorite teams, maybe. But for me, I just cannot enjoy this team. I know they had the whole thing. Oh, we don't play goats. We are ball enjoyers. We enjoy ball a lot. But so I don't know. I never really like. I like the thought, but making I don't know something about it. I just couldn't get on board. I don't even like enjoy goats, like and they were doing it not goats, and it was like, oh, that's cool, but I'm not gonna like this team over it. And they kind of continued it and kind of have the quirky we're different kind of vibe, and it's kind of gone now, right? But the fact that they have no money is really sad because the thought of what this team could have been makes it really hard for me to get on board with this current team. Because if you had this roster, oh, Eveltal was my favorite Mercy. I don't know if you guys have a favorite Mercy. Eveltal was my favorite Mercy. I'm so sad he left. I see this roster and Leave is being forced onto DPS. You could have had a Prita. Everyone was hyping this guy up. You keep Daisy instead of a Prita for some reason. I it really is upsetting to me. This team had so much potential, and it just gets squandered because of the funding. Someone, we got like a pool of money going to get a Prita on at least a min contract. Surely he would be okay with that, just for 1 year, a 1 year min contract. Just drop. I don't know. I don't want to say drop anyone. This is the potential of this team makes it hard for me to like the current team. I just wish it was more. The Dallas Fuel now. Dallas is a really hard team to dislike. How like Sparkle's an insane personality. Love Sparkle, and the rest of these players are all sick, right? But even and even back in 2018, how can you hate this team? Look at these guys. Unless you were like a XQC hater or something. I don't know. This team, the mismanagement of Effect kind of sucks. Uh, but how like troll this team was. They had Taimu on tank. Do you guys remember that Taimu on tank? What is that? Like it was very funny to watch. Look at this absolute clown car of players from 2020. How do you? What? It's so funny to me. I didn't. Oni God was on this roster. Oni God was here. I forgot about that entirely. But I guess if I had to pick something with Dallas, it would be their social media presence can get a little annoying, but it works, and a lot of teams are following it. And I don't hate it that much. I know some people really are not a fan, but I don't know. I can't hate this team. I like them more than Houston, which we'll get into kind of near the end ish or mid, right? Yeah, I guess soon actually. But I don't know. Can't hate this team too much. And it'd be different if they had some more success, right? One stage title isn't enough to make me hate them. It's not like the Shock where they have so much, they've won so much that you can't help but hate them a little bit because they're so successful. Um, I don't know. I just can't get that. I can't get that vibe off, you know. But Florida Mayhem. Now, Florida. I don't hate Florida. But I've never really felt a strong way about Florida. At the start of their career, at the start of the franchise, you had this awful roster that was doing badly, but they had some funny walkouts and stuff, so you kind of forgave them. But right here, where they start to like, they get rid of their identity for like straight up mid, and they get Zephyr Scrim God, and they just have like mid, and then this team they kind of transition. This team's better, but it's not like it's better, and it has some good looks and some metas. But Chris, I don't know. Fate didn't look like Fate properly. Like some of these players, Saga player just straight up left the game off this team, and it's hard to dislike them too much. But I don't know. It's okay. I like this roster a lot. I like Sermajet a lot. Someone's sick. Someone's a great personality. It's hard to hate them right now, but in the past, I was just not a fan of the direction this team was going in 2019. I'm glad they turned it around, but I'm glad that I like them more. But okay, Hangzhou Spark. Now, this is one of my two favorite teams between them and Toronto, right? But I hate this team, right? So I wasn't really a fan until last season. I'm gonna be honest, because I really like Shy, and Shy came in, and I was like, let's go. Shy is here, but the fact that they had Architect as his DPS partner really annoyed me. That guy could only play Reaper and Genji for the life of him. Like, and everyone was like, "Oh, this team is a star roster. They're underperforming so much. You have Architect. That's another DPS. No team above them in the standings would start Architect. None of them. Zero. Like, come on, boys. Come on." And the whole thing, how it's the same narrative as always. They're just mid again because they're gonna underperform. It's the Spark. They didn't. They had one DPS player, man, and there was racism. They literally had racism. They had MCD, and their coaches were just racism. They didn't want to play their Chinese players. What those are your star players? You have Shy, and they actually did not play Shy for some maps, for some matches, because they didn't. Just racism. Just racism. How so frustrating to watch as a fan for this team. And this season, you can't play Winston comps at all. You just can't do it. And you take Soul's coaches, who was recognized as a problem with Soul, and you just take them, which is better as an upgrade from last season. But that would have been, I could have been an upgrade from last season. I'm not racist, so like, man, it's frustrating to watch. I do have high hopes for this team, and they're still one of my favorite teams just because Shy is great. I'm a huge Alpha E enjoyer. Bernard, even nice to see him have success. But man, the stuff this team has gone through, bruh. Houston Outlaws. I've been a Houston hater. I've been a Houston hater since day one. It's weird. I liked Linkster at the start of the league. Big Linkster fan. Wasn't a fan of Muma fan. Wasn't a big Muma fan. That boy like flamed me one time. Nah. Yeah, nah. But I don't know, something about the Houston Outlaws. I just never could get. Maybe because I was a Valiant fan in season one, and they were both green. I said I couldn't like Houston. I couldn't tell you, but what I can tell you is, just not a fan of this team. The vibe this team gives off, I don't know, it's a little weird. They're consistently mid, consistently below mid. They peaked stage one, bro. That was their best placement. Stage one, straight up. Look at that, big third place coming out. That's season one, stage one title matches. Yeah, right there. Big peaked in first stage. I don't know why. I just love hating on Houston. I don't dislike their roster at all right now. I like Dante. I like Pelican. I like Iris. My apologies. But, yeah. London Spitfire. Now, how can you hate London? I'm going to be honest with you. I kind of hate that they... I hate and I love that they spam Rush, right? It's like... I do love it more than I hate it because, oh, they're playing Rush. It's sick. It's kind of sick, but... I don't know. Between this team, season one they had the big weird mismanagement stuff, but it kind of works out because they don't need these guys, so that's cool. They give Fisher the Glads, which was one of the best like things about season one was that Fisher came over and he was like going crazy, so that was really sick. Whenever they transition out of the Prophet team into the other team, it felt a little weird. It did feel a little weird, and this team was just such a mess. They just signed everyone and looking for what would stick, and nothing did, straight up. And then they just go over to the EU buffs, and then you have Hybrid, who's like just the worst, probably the worst player to play in Overwatch League, right? Has to be, right? But you can't hate this team right now. Shout out London. Just some weird stuff. I like Gladiators. I've been a Gladiators enjoyer. I don't know why I tabbed that one out. I've been a Gladiators enjoyer for a long time, but this team was constantly underperforming. Now they're not. They moved past it, but the constant underperformance really gets to you. Even as like not a hardcore fan, but they're like one of my teams that I cheer for more than I don't. Right? I would cheer for them against most other teams. But man, that constant underperformance, I believe so hard, and then. I'm like, this is the time, and I did it again this stage, and luckily it worked. I was like, glad they're gonna win it all this stage, and they do, but that it's just so sad how they're constantly. I'm so happy they've got it together, but there's a little bit of hate forming because I kept believing in this roster and it never came true. LA Valiant. Okay, well, I like the Valiant stage one, stage two. I didn't because I was a Toronto fan and a Vancouver fan because of course. So. But I like this team because of Agility. Agility ends up believing the team. Space ends up believing the team. I don't like him as much because those are the two players I was sticking around for. And now they're gone. The whole transition, I know a lot of people were a fan of the team of like KSF. They had KSP, right? They had the guys, right? But I don't know. I like the team, but I was never really all for the team. And then whenever they get dropped, and they bring in the Chinese team that is awful, like the last season Valiant, that kind of hurt. And like I didn't hate that Valiant because it's not their fault, right? It's just like the ownership, which is like it is about the team. But now I don't dislike this team. I think they're sick. No hill season, but that transition. Made Valiant probably the most hated team in the league, right? Because you just drop all your players with no notice. And that was awful. New York Excelsior. New York's weird because I really hated them season one because they were supposed to win it all and they were supposed to be really good, but then they just kind of fell off, right? They just fell off. And this transition off of like their star roster, like they're starting like their whole build into like we're gonna build a team around Jonak, but that team's not really that great. They made 4 players retire. What? You made 4 players retire, and one of them stopped playing. And then this guy, and then Jonak also had to take a break. They made everyone retire, bro. What is that? And this season, they just they're kind of broke, and they kind of had some visa problems, I think. But just having Vulcan sit here is so sad. He's so sad, bro. They're not even acknowledging him on the team, and that's probably my biggest hate, bro. Make Vulcan, include Vulcan. He's real. He's a real human. You can perceive him. I promise, you can perceive him. Paris Eternal. Paris is weird because they went EU and then they went Korean and then they went EU again. Pick a struggle. Are you going to be a goated Korean team, mixed roster even, or are you going to be France, Team France in Overwatch League, or are you going to be bad EU, or are you going like what are you doing here? I do like this roster now because I think Glister's sick. I think Wub is sick. I like Dridro, but I don't know. Just pick a lane, bro. Pick a lane. Okay, moving on to the Philadelphia Fusion. This is the same thing as the Gladiators, but amplified because I was also a Fusion fan. Philly and Glads were like my two teams that it's like I'm a fan of, but they're like a backseat. It's like a backseat kind of fan thing. Like I'll never like diehard cheer for them, but I'll wish them success. But Philly, come on, man, we gotta win. You gotta win something. Surely you find a dub somewhere. Come on, man. 5 seconds. 5 seconds with the next best team and with two. No, no, come on, man. You gotta win. Carpe, goat. No Carpe slander. I will take none of it. And of course, how can you hate this team, man? Like they had so much going for them the entire time. There's always been something to love about this team, and it's really funny to see them fail. But I do want them to succeed somewhere. Maybe not soon, but sometime before there is no more Philadelphia Fusion. They need to find a W. Just at the very end. Maybe at the very end. That would be so good for the last Overwatch League thing ever. I don't know when that's gonna be. Philly Fusion. That's when I'm putting all my money on the Philly Fusion. Until then, they will forever be second place. And I hate that. But it's so good. It's so good. San Francisco Shock, you can't win back-to-back stages, bro. I'm going to hate you. I'm sorry. I don't dislike anyone on this roster, but I'm going to hate you. You've won back-to-back. Their fans, yo, I'm sorry, Shock fans. You guys are some insufferable guys. Like, straight up, nah, that's crazy. Believing this team was the best going into the kickoff clash was just so much copium, or so much hopium. So much, like, crazy. Like, nah, no way. No way. Too much sustained success for me to be an enjoyer of the team and not hate them straight up. Just too much. And it needed to end, and it has. And I'm happy it has. I still want them to be good, but I'm happy it's ended for now. Right? It could come back. This team has a great roster that could come back. I'm so happy they gave Kaluja a shot. Whoops, I did not mean to click on him though. Okay, well, come on. Seoul Dynasty. Kind of the same story as Seoul and Philly in a way, because actually Seoul is also a team that I've been like, yeah, I'm a fan of this team, and I know I'm saying that like I'm a fan of a lot of teams, but it stops here. It stops here. Actually, it doesn't stop here because Vancouver too. But they've been like a backseat. Like I'm preying on their success, and having Gesture as your tank for so long, the tank situation, the coaching problems that they've had since the start. They've had coaching problems in every season, bro. First season there was coaching problems. Second season coaching. It's just been coaching, coaching, coaching. You bring in Gesture. Gesture's not good anymore. I'm sorry. It was not good. Profit. You have Profit. You better not waste his career. So happy they pulled their stuff together, but watching this team was like a constant struggle because they had the talent. They have Profit. I think the best player maybe ever. Argument for it, no doubt. Come on, man. Come on, man. You can't waste Profit's career like that. Shanghai Dragon. Shanghai, I'm a big Shanghai enjoyer, but just because of the level of Overwatch they play, it's been consistently so high. And of course, the whole turnaround from 0-40, because you couldn't hate them when they were 0-40, into actually good team, that was spectacular. Despite it being like an entirely different roster as a franchise, it's spectacular. But I don't know. This season specifically is very frustrating to watch because they're ass, they're horrible, and then they need to win or they lose, and then they're good again. And when that doesn't work, it looks really bad. It doesn't look really bad because they look good against Seoul still, but it's really frustrating to see them go 5 maps with the charge. Why? Come on, just play the game. Like, what's wrong with you guys? You're the same team. How are you struggling right now? You're just one of the dudes. You're the dude that just won. What's up with that? But I don't know. Until they I can't have them be awful until they want to be good. You can't just be clutch guys. You can't just be you can't. It's too hard to watch. It's too hard to watch. Toronto Defiant. I love this team. I hate this team. This is it's the same thing as Spark. What are you doing? What are you doing here? This first season, what is this roster? What is this? What is this? What is the goal of this? Nah. What? Just I'm 37. I was never an I'm 37 in Sorry. I'm sorry. I just was not. How is he here? Then you decide, oh, we're gonna go NA, but then that doesn't work, and that's awful because Surefour doesn't play. Mangachu and Agilities are just there. You have Numlocked. Why is Numlocked on this roster? Is Zik? I don't know. This team was weird. You have Beast. I don't know. You had Sato too, but the Sato. Oh no, you didn't have Sato. Sato was only last season. And this last season, I saw so much hoping for this team, bro. I was like, oh, they have Sato, they have KDG. This season's gonna go crazy. We have a goated coaching staff. We have a goated main tank. We have two rookies from contenders. Surely they're both good. No. You take Michelle. I'm like, okay, whatever. Michelle's all right, I guess. No. Just was not. Just wasn't the same. You have Logix. I forget you have Logix, and he's just there, right? He was there down here, and he's just getting maps whenever he feels like it. And I don't know. There's so much potential and there's so much hope I had. It just disappeared. Sato's just disappeared off the face of the earth after this. He's gone. He said I cannot. And this season, it's starting all over again. I'm so happy they fired KDG. It was not going to work. Shout out to that. God bless, right? But this roster, you have Twilight, who has been quietly biding his time in the bench of the Shock. You have Hoppa, he's been around forever. Hisu, the GOAT. Yeah, well, not Hisu is GOAT status. And then Finale looks nuts and music does, and then you have a crazy Winston comp, and you don't play it because you don't want to, because you think Zarya is better, so you're not going to play Winston. Okay, but Winston's better for your team, bro. Just play your guys. The consistent mid is getting to me. Something about it. It's making me twitch. Making me tweak, bro. I can't. This one hurts the most, man. The Vancouver Titans, bro. Bring them back. I need Runaway back, man. Come on. Bring them back. I really want to see, and even if the mismanagement is so sad, right? It's so sad. You had the best team, one of the best teams ever, and you just get mismanaged and you lose, man. Oh, it's so tragic. And even this Fissure roster, that was like kind of cool. I was hyped to see a Fissure comeback, but it was not meant to be. It was not meant to be. And it's so sad. And then you go into Car. You go from Hacksaw, Stitch, Slime, to Car. Come on, man. Carson, come on. So sad. You have Shockwave. You make a star player out of him. You bring him back. That's sick. But Fried Wiener's sick. I've loved this team since they've been Runaway, but you'll never have it back. Nothing like that will ever exist. So sad. I like this team now, but just because it's like a mismatch of players that are like kind of cool. I like Shockwave Aspire mostly and False, right? But other than that, I'm not too attached. And I'm just praying for them because you're at the bottom, bro. You got to go up. You have the longest record regular season match win streak in the history of the Overwatch League. But you've won nothing. So sad. Finally, another tragic tale of the Washington Justice. I am praying I'm still a believer. I'm still on them like a drug, bro. Every time I see them starting to pop off, I'm like, this is it. Washington's time. And I'm never gonna stop it. I'm gonna do it again. And I'm gonna keep doing it. And I'm gonna keep taking my little bit of Washington cocaine. I'm gonna keep going at it. It's never gonna end. Because they're always gonna be awful. I swear. It's not. This whole video has just been a descent into madness because I can't with this team, bro. Come on, just be good. Just get some coaching staff going. You know, what are your coaches like right now? What's going on? Where you at? Supreme's been here since the start. I forget. Why do we keep Supreme along? What's his contract? 10 years long? What's going on here? He has a no termination clause. Come on. Has it worked? Did it work in 2019? Did it work in 2018? Did it work in 2020? When will it end? When will it end? Come on, Washington. This roster, I love this roster. Whenever they had Corey on it, I was a big Corey enjoyer. But it's been the same thing. Johnu's gone. Bring back Johnu. I need to find Johnu. Someone needs to find Johnu, please. You've made Stitch leave. Someone find Stitch. You had Fury, one of my favorite players ever. No success. So sad. This is so sad. I can't. I'm done with this video. Drop a like if you like it. Drop a like if you like me descending into madness because of the Washington Justice. Give it a subscribe and have a good one.